What if I told you that the most important signals in the Iraqi Dinar story right now aren't loud, aren't public, and aren't even coming from headlines? They're coming from something much quieter, from behavior, from movement behind closed doors, from institutions that never move unless they absolutely have to. And here's the part that should make you lean in a little closer. Banks don't prepare for rumors, they prepare for probability. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's update is not hype. It's not a date call. It's not one of those any second now emotional roller coasters we've all seen 100 times before. This is something different. This is one of those rare moments where the energy in the space feels heavier, more serious, more calculated. If you've followed the Iraqi Dinar story for years, like many of you have, you know exactly what I mean. There's noise, and then there's movement. And right now, we're seeing movement. But before we go any further, let's slow this down. Take a breath. Because this is not a moment for rushing, panicking, or making impulsive decisions. And very clearly, nothing I share here is financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, exchange, or act. My role is simple: to analyze what's happening, to recognize patterns, and to help you think clearly, not emotionally, because clarity protects you. Emotion costs you. Now let's talk honestly. The Dinar community has been through years of dates, Sunday windows, Monday rumors. This weekend for sure, with a holiday, before the end of the month, and most of them, nothing happened. So naturally, people got tired, skeptical, frustrated. Some even stopped believing anything at all, and honestly, that's understandable when you hear hormonate. For 10 years straight, your brain builds armor. But here's where things get interesting. What we're seeing right now isn't another date. It's not someone circling a calendar. It's behavior from institutions that do not move emotionally, major banks. And this is critical to understand. Banks don't get excited. Banks don't speculate. Banks don't jump because of internet chatter. Banks are cold, logical, risk-averse machines. They only move when their internal models tell them there is enough probability here that we must prepare. And lately, preparation is exactly what we're seeing. Reports of internal readiness, system adjustments, staff positioning, compliance reviews, operational testing. These are not public fireworks. These are quiet, behind-the-scenes activities. But here's the thing most people don't realize. In finance, the quiet phase is always where the real work happens. By the time the public sees an announcement, it's already old news internally, weeks, sometimes months old. Think about it. When was the last time a bank surprised itself? Never. They prepare first, always. So when banks begin adjusting operations earlier than expected, when they don't wait for the perfect Sunday window, when they start positioning ahead of schedule, that tells you something very specific. They don't want to be caught off guard. And institutions don't spend money preparing unless they believe something has a real chance of happening. Let's talk about that Sunday timeline for a second. Yes, historically, weekends are convenient for financial changes. Markets are closed. Less disruption. Makes sense. But here's the truth. Convenience is not a rule. It's just a preference. And when urgency increases, preferences disappear. If a bank believes something might shift sooner, they move sooner. They don't wait for a calendar date just because the internet expects it. Now zoom out with me for a moment, because this isn't just about banks. It's about Iraq itself. For years, while people argued about rates and dates online, Iraq has been doing something far more important: rebuilding, quietly, methodically, strengthening banking laws, improving compliance, modernizing digital systems, aligning with international standards, reducing corruption, increasing transparency. These aren't rumors. These are documented structural reforms. And here's something many people miss. Currencies don't gain value because of hype. They gain value because of fundamentals, infrastructure, stability, trust. And compared to 10 years ago, Iraq is financially unrecognizable. Now combine that with today's global environment, inflation everywhere, debt at record highs, geopolitical instability. Fragile banking systems, suddenly resource-backed reforming economies start looking attractive, not perfect, but attractive. And major institutions absolutely notice that. They run models, they calculate risk, they position early. Because waiting until the last second is how you lose money. And banks hate losing money more than anything. Now let me talk directly to long-term holders for a moment. If you've been holding Dinar for years, you've been disappointed before, many times. So your instinct might be, here we go again, just more talk. And that's skepticism. It's healthy, but don't let skepticism turn into blindness. There's a difference. Skepticism asks questions. Blindness ignores real signals. Right now, the signals aren't loud, they're technical, subtle. But in finance, subtle changes are often the most important ones. Big explosions come later. First comes preparation, always. And here's something else I need you to hear clearly. If something is real, you will not need to panic. You will not need to rush. You will not need to run to a bank tomorrow morning. Real financial transitions don't punish calm people. They reward prepared people. If anyone ever creates artificial urgency or fear, that's your cue to slow down, not speed up, because legitimate opportunities don't scream. They unfold. So what should you actually do right now? Honestly, very little. Stay informed, stay organized, keep documents safe, watch credible sources, and most importantly, stay emotionally steady. No panic, no hype, just awareness. Because this phase we're in right now, it feels like a transition phase. And transitions always feel messy and uncertain, but they're also where real change begins. Let me leave you with this thought. If absolutely nothing were happening, there would be silence, no preparation, no institutional movement, no positioning, just dead quiet. But we're not seeing silence. We're seeing activity, measured, careful, professional, and in the world of banking. That speaks louder than any rumor ever could, so don't focus on dates. Don't chase excitement. Watch behavior. Because behavior tells the truth long before headlines do. And right now, behavior suggests something is being taken seriously behind the scenes, not finished. Not guaranteed, but serious. And sometimes, that's the first real sign that the story is finally moving from speculation to probability. If you found this update helpful, stay connected, stay grounded, and keep your mind clear. We don't win this game by reacting fast. We win by thinking clearly. Thanks for being here with me today. I truly appreciate every one of you who approaches this journey with patience and intelligence. I'll see you in the next update. Until then, stay calm, stay informed, and let the noise pass while you watch the signals.